Good morning, Minecraft, and welcome to today's modded Minecraft tutorial. And today I'm going to demonstrate a simple starting power source that will actually run infinitely if you set it up correctly. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, the first thing we're going to need to do is set up a tree farm. And I'm going to use Minefactory Reloaded to get the tree farm started. The Minefactory Reloaded planter defaults to a 3x3 square, so that's what I'm going to start with. So here is our planter, and I'm going to stick that underneath a block of dirt that is 3x3. The planter actually has to go underneath the block. The harvester, the next block I'm going to set up, actually has to go above. And if you face this direction and place it that way, you want a little round hole in the back and the grill in the front. I also prefer to set up a chest right behind the planter because the harvester. I like to set up a chest right behind the harvester. The harvester is going to spit items out through the back. It will also spit it to the nearest inventory, but if the chest gets too full, it starts just spitting things out the back and end up having a large pile of items on the ground. So to avoid that, it's best to stick the chest right behind it. And the next thing we want to do is load up a stack of saplings in our planter so it will be ready to go. And then we're going to want to provide power to each of these machines. So we're going to have to set up a power. We're going to set up a dynamo first. And I'm going to use some basic leadstone cables to start with. They are the starting. The leadstone cables are pretty easy to make, so I'm going to go ahead and use those to start with. And then we're going to connect a steam dynamo to the leadstone cables. It's going to provide power to both of these machines. But first we're going to have to pipe in some water. So let's go ahead and set up an aqueous accumulator and a little infinite water source. If you already have a lake or a pool of water nearby, that will work just fine. But since I don't, I'm just going to go ahead and build a 3x3 pool of water and put my accumulator in the center. The accumulator doesn't require power, so you can just place it in here by itself and it will start to pump water out on its own. And then we're going to put in a fluid duct. I had originally intended to use the clear ones, but the opaque ones will work just fine. So let's go ahead and connect that together. And we should start seeing water flowing into the dynamo. There we go. Now, to get these machines up and running, we need to actually provide them power first. So we're going to have to kickstart our steam dynamo with a little bit of steam. And there we go. We can see the planter already planting. And the saplings are going to grow up on their own. I'm not using any fertilizer or watering sprinklers. Not using any fertilizer or sprinklers to speed them up, so this may take a little while. But first what I want to do is I want to set up a system for the saplings that are returned to go back into the planter. So let's go ahead and do that first. I'm going to need some item ducts and I'm going to need a servo. So let's go ahead and place that here and here, and then we'll run it along the side like that. And we want to set this to extract, and we want to have this particular pipe auto extract everything from the chest. So I'm going to install a servo in it. And to interface with that servo, I need to clear my hand, right click there, and I want it to just automatically, always, all the time. Actually, let's just set it to ignore redstone signals. That should work just fine. Okay, how are we doing over here? Let's add a couple more coal. And I'm going to go ahead and wait for a tree to grow, and I'll get back to you guys in just a second. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and bone meal a tree. Go. And as you can see, the harvester automatically collects all of that, and it automatically sent the saplings down to here. But what we want to do next is we want to send the logs over here to the steam dynamo in order to be processed. So let's get some more item ducts. We're going to send these over here. Oops, did not want to place it there. And I also want to set a servo in here because I want to make sure that only logs go in here, because you can actually burn saplings. So let's go ahead and install a servo. To grab at least one log to place that in the filter, I want to whitelist oak logs. So there we go. Okay, that is it. It's a very simple build, and as it is, this system will produce an infinite amount of power because the power required to harvest and plant the trees is less than what it returns. So you're actually getting a profit of power. But there's some extra parts that we can add on to this system to make it much more efficient and also produce a lot more power. But I believe I will do that in later episodes. So stick around for added efficiency. So this is OneWolfe saying thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.